everybody. Welcome back. Everything's all creepy. I love it. So
when is it not? Let's be real.
It's been getting more and more every episode. So let's finish that scene.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out the heron situation. So you were saying on the break, Andrew, that you have a thing. There's a move.
Well, so we talked about my hypnotic move still working when my mask is off.
That is correct, yes.
And we are alone together.
Are you?
I mean, I'm unconscious and he's at his computer, or
Do you
as
think
alone as we were when you rolled.
This is why I ask and not just demand.
Totally. Let me look at hypnotic. Let me read the move with my
I mean, Tiny,
When you have
hypnotic
time
on
and solitude with
Grace
someone,
when they were in a crowded courtyard.
You have I don't think you have time or solitude. It's not just being alone, it's solitude, and I think that's different. You could get it as a follow-up, but right now, and you definitely don't have time. This is a immediate do the thing. But yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna go yell at Ferris.
Okay. So you put your mask back on and go do that.
Yeah, there's this brief moment of softness, and then I put my face back on. I go outside.
All right. So Brace, you are left alone with Nipperkin, and you're. I think for you, everything is darkness, right? You're unconscious. Your body is kind of writhing around a little bit, but you're elsewhere. You're standing in a building, maybe on the 40th floor or whatever of a skyscraper, and you're looking out at a city, and the city is mostly underwater, right? There's maybe 20 feet from the edge of the window you're standing in to the surface of the water, and the water is everywhere. You look out and there's just these buildings kind of tipped over like fingers coming up out of the water of this perfect kind of flat horizon otherwise. And the sun is setting somewhere over the horizon, and it's clear, right? The sky is this clear kind of orange color from the sun setting. There are little wisps of cloud, but there's no rain. And you're standing in this room. It's an old, it would have been a boardroom or something. There's whiteboards. There's a carpet that's all waterlogged and damaged, and you're standing looking out over the horizon. And around you are the ghosts. You're surrounded by your cult. And they I think you feel from them a sense of support, they're here for you. They're not just here to hang out. What do you
Okay. So I'm just surrounded by my ghosts, and they're actually trying to be nice.
They're just standing around, you're all watching. It feels like you're at a funeral, and it's a funeral of someone that you knew, but they didn't really. But they're here for you, you know?
Is there anything to give me that sense of loss?
No, I just wanted to give you a sense of their emotional support, not it's not like something actually died.
I guess I don't know. I turn to them and one by one look at their faces and actually I don't know, move through these weird kind of semi-corporeal bodies and just want to be there with them and recognize their support. She just moves through the bodies and is petting them strangely.
Yeah, these kind of incorporeal hands touching you. Okay, I wanted to give you an opportunity here to access them for insight if you wanted, before the next thing happens. So if you think that you would ask them for advice, cool. Otherwise, we'll cut back to the real world.
Well, I don't know, it's hard to ask them for advice on being unconscious on the table.
Well, I mean, insight is just inviting them to tell you what they think you should do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would love for them to tell me what they think I should do. Absolutely. So like yeah, she goes through all of that and she like is like, you know, murmuring under her breath like the names of the faces that she touches, and like she like goes through them, and like she sits in the center of this like mass of, you know, ghostly figures, and like she like looks like at all of them and like asks for guidance. She says like, you are mine and I am also yours, like give me, like, what is it you wish to say to me?
One of the ghosts, one you don't recognize, you know, we've never seen them on screen before. They're dressed strangely.
Mm-hmm.
They're like weirdly, like clean. I think she's just wearing like a black t-shirt and jeans and like a pair of high tops. She's maybe in her like early 20s, dark skin. Her hair is like pulled back into a kind of frizzy like bun. And yeah, and she looks at you, and she says, what's coming, it came before. They tried to stop it then, but it didn't take. You'll have a chance soon to do what we couldn't, but it's going to cost you and everyone else. Hold tight till then. You'll know the moment when it comes.
And I like acknowledge all that, like the idea that something costs Brace, like she's not super concerned. But like she looks at this person and like, what is your name?
She shakes her head. She says, I let go of that a long time ago. Spent too long at the bottom of a well.
Well, I will wait then. I will hold tight. I will wait for whatever is coming.
She looks you sternly in the face and says, don't trust Ferris. Don't trust Nipperkin. Neither of them have anyone's best interest in mind. Heron, maybe. Maybe. There's some beauty there yet, but dangerous. Keep your head up. And we cut from that to like this very placid, quiet, kind of like orange lit scene to a very dingy, like hard white light room where your body, like you're kind of thrashing around, being held down, and the needle goes in, and your body, we see Brace suddenly like go stiff, and then Nipperkin undoes the straps and turns you on your side, and you're like shaking, and you start to cough, and he's like patting your back, and he's like, there, let it go. And he's got a pan, like a bedpan or something, by your head, and you start throwing up into it, but it's just water, just like clean water. And you're just, yeah, he's like, there they go, let it out, and like patting you on the back. And the sound of something hard hitting the inside of the metal pan is what wakes you up. That hard noise, and you like blink hard, and then yeah, you're in this room, and he's sitting next to you and like petting your back, and is like, there you go, it's okay.
Like, what is it that hit the pan?
It's like a snail shell. It's about yay big.
Something from the well. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I wake up to like vomiting water everywhere, and I just feels bad, man.
Yeah, totally. You get tears on your face, and your nose is all, because you've been like, you know, you're throwing up this water, it's coming up out of your nose, and yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
This is great. Thanks. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. I mean, you do feel better. Like,
okay.
You that weight in your stomach doesn't feel quite so bad. You can still feel it, but you're feeling better now.
And like I look up, but like once I can like actually like control my body and stop like vomiting everywhere, like I look up at Nipperkin like, oh, okay, like you I do feel better, but also like I'm just like the ghost told me not to trust you, like in my head, you know.
And he's gone up, like he's petting your back, and he gets up and he walks over to the table and he comes over and he's holding he's holding something in his hand, and he holds his hand out and there's two little like red and blue like caplet gel cap like pills, and he holds it out to you and he's like, take these, they'll help your stomach.
And so like I grab them and also like the shell and like I hold them to my chest and I'm just like, where's Tynant?
Don't worry, Tynant's just in the other room. You're gonna be okay. You gotta take your medicine though. You don't want
I'm
to get
not
sick
like
again.
I'm holding it. I've got it, but I'm not like taking it.
Yeah, and so he's just staring at you.
Yeah.
Like not intentionally threatening, but he's just said like, take your medicine, and is like looking at you.
What is it?
He kind of squints and he's like, it's to make up for what you've lost. It'll make you feel better. You're never gonna heal if you don't let me take care of you.
Can I like read him?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yes, you totally can. That's a thing you can do.
Okay. Blow.
Okay, got a 10. What would you like to ask?
Being casually brain receptive.
Yeah, all that receptivity. I want to know if he is. I want to know what he intends to do. Like, what is the intent of this?
He wants to make you better.
So fucking vague. I want to know, like, is him wanting to make me better the same as me wanting to be better?
You can't ask him that. What other questions you got?
Is okay. So I look at Nipperkin and I look like I take him in and like I make sure that he knows that I'm looking at him and I say, Nipperkin, I don't trust you. Like, what is this? What is it going to do to me? Like, I've got like the pills in my hand.
He sits down next to you and he says, now you've had a hard day and I understand you're feeling nervous. It's all right to feel upset, but you should trust me. I'm a doctor. It's my job to take care of people, and I want to take care of you. You didn't hear it because you were unconscious, but your friend Tynan, they want to take care of you too. That's why they brought you here. Tynan wouldn't put you in danger, would they?
And so like Brace like Brace like looks at the pills and like she puts them in her mouth like under her tongue and then pretends to swallow and then like moves to like get up and like get out of the room.
Puts his hand on your shoulder and yeah, and he's like, yeah, and he doesn't say anything. He just puts his hand on your shoulder and like pushes you back down to sit next to him, and yeah, and just looks at you.
And she's like,
And he's just like waiting for you to swallow the pills, like just like staring right at you.
She's so like not wanting to do it
And
mostly because he wants her to.
You can feel the gel caps like starting to dissolve in your mouth.
Oh no. I guess she just like, can she like spit them out and like try and run?
You can do whatever you want. It's a role playing game.
Yeah, yeah. She spits them out and she tries and runs. What would that be? Like,
I mean, I think you're gonna have to act under fire here, because he
Okay.
did just drug you. So that's the first thing. You have to act under
Mhm.
fire that you can even stand.
yeah, great. This is gonna go really well. I'm just like probably gonna pass out again. It's fine. Don't worry
No, pass
about it.
out. Don't worry. All right. You can get out of the room, or you can not swallow the pills. You can't have both.
Okay, then I don't swallow the pills.
Okay. So you spit them out, like
Yeah.
spit them on the floor. And what would he do? He looks at you and he shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, that was a mistake." And he reaches down and picks them up. And they're still kind of like globby with your spit, and they're kind of like getting like gummed together because they're dissolving.
Yeah.
And and you feel a little lightheaded, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and you can feel his fingers like digging in a little bit. And he says, "You have to take your medicine." And he's like, his hand is moving towards your face.
I have one of my scalpels in my hand and I'm just like, no. I'm fucking gonna cut a bitch.
So while this is happening, Ferris and you have a conversation to have, right? Ferris and Tynan.
Yeah. We're gonna have a friendly conversation.
Okay. Well, let's before we get to that, let's give this scene a little bit of room to breathe. Let's cut over to the block.
Heron from the block.
Heron.
That's me.
So the situation at the block is becoming it's degrading. Let's say it's coming apart a little bit. The pretty much everyone at this point in the gang has undergone some kind of metamorphosis by way of your art. And you move through this place with an authority that maybe I don't think you've ever had before. People move out of your way. There's like reverent whispering as you walk the halls of the block. Drug production has shut down, which means that most people here have nothing to do, and bored mutants don't for peace make. So it's starting. There's a tension that's starting to build.
I was actually going to go and talk to Trench.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So
is he still bunked down in the production area, like in the production is shut down?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that you find him. You have to ask because he's not down there. You have to ask, and you find him in Rolf Ball's old office, standing, looking out the window as Rolf Ball did so many times.
All right.
And he doesn't seem to notice or acknowledge when you walk in. Like, there's no way he wouldn't have heard you, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I walk in behind and I close the door to the office, like behind me.
Yeah.
Just like watching Trench look out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I approach up behind him and I say, it's a little bright for you up here, isn't it?
And he nods. And you notice, I think, that he's got his mask off. And he turns his face to you. And yeah, you can see like tears just like kind of streaking down his face because he can't close his eyes. And he's just been like staring out at the light. And the muscles around his eyes are like twitching. And he says, I've seen so much in the last few days.
So have I. I've done good work. How is Scab, by the way?
He nods. You've made a beautiful thing, Heron. Truly. I won't lie. The envy of it. I'm drowning.
I reach up a hand and like place it sort of on his shoulder, in like a conciliatory, kind of way, like trying to be comforting.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, sometimes those who suffer under the most inspiration are those who lose their ability to really participate in the art. You are a wonderful piece, the most perfect, the most whole. You are a participant as well as art. You are a watcher as well as a piece. There's nothing else to say. But I think we are running out of paper, so to speak.
Yeah, his ruined face attempts an expression that's long lost to the mutilations you've afforded him, and he says, "I've been thinking the same." And he turns again to like look out at the town, and I think at this point you hear an explosion, like a literal like a gas station blowing up explosion, and like some of the windows crack, and he kind of steps back, and you can see on the horizon, because you can see like Bill's castle Canadian Tire from here. There's like a cloud, like a black like mushroom cloud of like rising from there, and you can hear in the distance the sound of motorcycles, like loud engines with no mufflers. And so he like winces slightly, and the two of you like stagger back from the window because there's this explosion. And he looks at you and he says, "The world is sloughing off her dead flesh. I ache to see what lies beneath."
Best we not be sloughed, then, Trench. Best we survive to see what remains when it's all gone.
I've been seeing the patterns. The ones you leave in flesh, but in the cracks of a window. Or smoke from a fire. They're everywhere.
I want to read them.
Okay, yeah.
So let's see, what questions can I ask? Read a person. What are they really feeling?
Trench is feeling some complicated stuff. Shame, guilt, reverence, love, fear. He's a complicated guy. There's a lot going on for him right now.
He's in a very, very difficult spot.
Mm-hmm.
So on that, I continue and I say, perhaps, my perfect one, you are becoming an artist.
And he looks at you and he says, your friend, Ferris, I have use for him. I've given him a task to improve the supply. I hope he works quickly. I've been so concerned of late with your art. I'd almost forgotten about him.
As far as Ferris's production might go, I would imagine that he's working diligently.
He nods. I had control once, and can again. I should have him brought here.
I think perhaps there might be a better option.
Yeah, he waits.
So much of what we are, so much of what we have here, my dear, is garbage. Human garbage. My work, the scraps, the scribbles, nothing. Not worth preserving. You, we need to keep. Myself, well, I can't work if I'm not here. Don't worry about those who are going to die already. People who are going to be, as you so eloquently put it, sloughed by the world. If they aren't strong enough or have the conviction enough to survive, then what need is there to keep them around? Especially now that the water is gone.
Yeah, he just continues to like watch you.
We should go. We could leave. Just pick a direction.
He looks kind of like looks around like at the town, and then abruptly changes the subject. He looks over at Bill's now on fire fortress, and he says, "There was a time when knowing Bill was suffering would have pleased me greatly. Now I feel nothing. Hollow. Where would we go? Everything I've built is here."
Can you not build again?
What are you trying to manipulate him? Like, what do you want him to do here?
I want him to agree that we should just leave the town, basically. Like, this place is coming apart at the seams. There's no supply here. There's no food. There's no water. Soon there's gonna be crazed fucking drug addicted psychopaths everywhere. Like, this is like Heron going like, this is the Titanic and we need to leave. Like, we need to get on a lifeboat right now.
Okay. So you say that like we could leave. You'll have to. I think you're halfway there to the manipulate, right? You have a thing that you want him to do. You'll have to give him a reason before you can roll.
Your safety and mine hinges on not being here very soon.
It's not safety I care about, Heron. It's ascension.
Ascension. Well,
And he turns to like look back out at the town. He's still listening, but
as soon as he says that and I see that he's like looking away again, I basically add, well, I'm going to need more space, more canvas. There isn't enough left. Whatever just happened at Bill's, send the dregs and we'll find out if it's something I can work with.
awesome. Yeah, so I think he nods and he reaches over and like on the desk there's like a walkie-talkie, and he picks it up and he says he just says into it he says send someone to find out what happened at Bill's. Bring anyone who survived back to me. And he like sets it down. And he turns, and again his like ruined face attempts to smile at you. And he nods and he says I want only for you to have everything you need.
If this is to be our temple, and the point of our ascension, then we must, for a time, cater to our mortal selves. Food, water, very important things. We need supplies. Rationing is only going to last so long. Maybe another group to look for such a thing.
He nods, and he says, if Ferris is able to hold up his end of the bargain and give me the drugs he promised, we'll be able to use it to trade with those who still have what we need. Everyone else will die, and we will take what they have.
Then I think it's time to find out if Ferris is finished.
He nods and says, I have work to do here. Will you go and retrieve your friend for me?
Of course.
Good. And you can see as you're talking to him, the kind of like gang leader Trench is like coming back, and the kind of like confused religious aesthetic Trench is going away. So he goes back into kind of like hive queen mode and sets about gathering his gang to go out into the ruins and bring you people to work on and to scavenge for supplies and basically wage war on whoever's left in town.
I've worked on the unwilling before, then there's no reason to do it again and again and again, seeing as it shows such good result.
Totally. Yeah. So so he sets about doing that.
And I head towards
head off for Ferris's.
The current apex, the current, what would you call it? Like point of contact.
When is the last time all of our characters have been together in a space?
Ferris' place.
It's the Ferris Nexus.
Yeah, it's the Nexus. Totally. All right, let's cut back there and find out what how that conversation is gonna go. So Brace is in the other room getting an injection of something or other. And while that's happening, Tynan, you've returned to talk to Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, I've thought about it, and my mask is shaped like a skull, but doesn't have a skull painted on it. It just has a big red X across the face.
Okay, cool.
I've decided. And yeah, I've got my mask back on, and I walk out. I'm like, what is Ferris doing?
Typing on a dead terminal.
Yeah. Okay.
The keyboard's in Cyrillic.
Yeah.
I'm still not satisfied with your answer.
You asked a lot of very complicated questions. I suppose we have time. Is Brace going to be okay?
We should all hope so. What exactly is it that you're doing out here? What's so important that you've dragged Nipperkin into it?
It might be a I still have this hold we just discussed over one of the breaks, whether it carries. What, after I answer you, what do you intend to do?
I mean, that it depends entirely on your answer.
Okay, that's fair enough as an answer.
What you have, because essentially this will have been me having paid the temple as a price for whatever it is that you have down here. And if I think that your project is not a fair exchange, then I will be very upset because it will have cost me very dearly and have cost you nothing.
Well, It is a project that is very, very important to both Nipikin and I, as I said before.
And it is.
Yes. I'm not entirely sure how much you're going to understand of what's going on here.
You're smart. Think of a way to explain it to me.
This conversation stays between us, I hope. You're both people of means, people of well, perhaps that's part of the problem.
And I just like look at you for an answer to the first part.
I'd like to congratulate you, Dave, on not using the cliched supervillain. We're more alike than you think, you and I.
Oh, don't worry, it's coming. It's just
So, like,
I love that line.
from what I understood of what Ferris just said, it's that he said nothing.
oh, but
Like,
he
in no way
wants
answered
you
my
to-
question.
He wants you to keep it between the two of them, though.
Oh, okay. Like he's waiting for me to.
Yes, sorry, it was the first part, and then I rambled on for a bit.
I'm listening. I don't exactly have a lot of people to share anything I know with.
All right. Well, I suppose that's the best answer I could hope for. Tyrant, I've been wearing a mask is a new situation for you. And I don't want to ask why it is that you feel that you need to hide yourself. For me, it was a matter of survival. But if it helps you at all understand the situation,
And Ferris very slowly starts undoing the buckles on his gas mask.
You merely adopted the mask. It's perfect.
I mean, I was trying really hard not to
You
do
did a
that,
really
but-
good job. I'm very proud of you. So yeah, and it's so good. That totally like sideswiped me. Like I did not see that parallel at all until just this moment. That's so good. So what is that like, Tynan? How do you respond to Ferris like reaching up to take his mask off? Do you just watch?
Yeah, what do I see under the mask exactly?
Yeah, a very clearly non-human face. It's
Like you
plated
are a machine.
metal, riveted together with like a single like telescoping iris and like a grill that is a speaker.
And what makes you think that I can believe now that our agendas would ever be in line? And that you would want what is best for any of us, Ferris?
understanding or making
I guess I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
You're
mask
not
off.
wearing your mask, homie.
I'm not wearing it anymore. Deciding what is best is something that we've both had to contend with in the past. You had your community. You had traditions and laws that in following you believed, I'm sure, as diligently and fervently as could be expected. And in that, you were doing what was best. I have a slightly different perspective on the way in which we might all survive this world, make the best of the hand we've been dealt. It's all about efficiency, Tynant.
And your efficiency has come at the cost of the lives of the people living at the temple. Why do you need to tear down what I was building in order to make whatever it is you're going to make? Why do you need to take people from me?
Well, it's either I do what I can to save them and transition us into a new stage of evolution, or we regress.
Don't say us.
Surely
is
you
no
must
us.
see. Surely you must see, Tynant, that looking at the past, the ghosts, the sentiments of those who have already failed, we cannot possibly hope to succeed in the future.
You talk about living on, and here I am with ghosts to talk to. And what do you have? A dead screen, and I look over at your like monitor that you were typing at. I'm afraid I don't see it, Ferris.
No, this is new to me as well.
And so like I pull off my mask and like, though we both protect ourselves, I am protecting human life. I can't imagine what it is that you're looking after.
There's more to being alive than the particular kind of shell that you occupy. You've had experience with this. The dead no longer carry their. It's difficult. I didn't believe, or I never thought to believe that ghosts even existed. But perhaps through my own research, there are a lot more similarities than I thought.
Explain to me how I have been wrong at any point, Ferris, when your discoveries are simply that the ghosts are real and that maybe I was right. What makes you think that your way is better? Maybe you're the one working in the dark. Maybe you're the dead end. I know that's a hard thing to wonder about. But from where I'm standing, what does Ferris do?
I think he opens his brain to the psychic maelstrom.
Okay, sure.
I mean, it's like information A. I've got to take the information B. My source all along has been what the maelstrom's been telling me. So I need to give them their side, I think. Find out how I'm going to respond to you. I actually failed that.
2 crit one.
That's awesome. That's yeah, like it's one of the hardest rolls for you to fail. And there it is.
Here we are.
And here we
There
are.
it is.
What does this look like, Adam?
Well, what does it say in the move when you fail?
Be prepared for the worst.
For psychic miss, that's it.
That's all it says. On a miss, be prepared for the worst.
Okay. All right. I was not prepared for that result. I was all ready for the success. I was like, oh, I got some cool stuff I could tell you. Well, let me take a look at my options. Let me ruminate a moment on this.
Does it tell him he's wrong?
Or does it just like give him no useful information whatsoever?
No,
confuse
no.
him?
The maelstrom is not about not doing things. The maelstrom is about doing. And you open your brain seeking guidance from the maelstrom. I think there's an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity here. I mean, I think everything you're saying, Ferris, is right. You know, that you're not being understood, and that Tynant has a limited view of things. And that people have had their chance and failed. And that what you're doing is undoing their like death spasms, basically. That the people that exist in this world shouldn't exist, right? Like they're a dying species and need to be replaced. I think all of that is true. And the maelstrom wants, I mean, it doesn't really want anything. It's made up of a lot of like complicated shit, but I guess here's the thing. There's an opportunity for you to externalize this awareness. You can't convince Tynant necessarily with your words, but you can open Tynant up to the maelstrom and let the maelstrom try to convince him. The maelstrom wants control. The maelstrom is like, you are fucking this up. Let me do it.
And like, how does that get related to Ferris? I don't remember what Ferris's like maelstrom paradigm is.
Dipping into the like feed of information, right?
Right. So
and you've got this window open to the maelstrom like directly. So there's just this like howl of static and pressure in your mind.
Yeah.
And
It's totally, it's like the list of when you're connecting to different networks or whatever, and there's just like a request coming through, like it's like trying to connect to blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to plug in. I can't do this on my own. I don't have enough bandwidth or like processing to convey this.
And in that gap where Ferris is experiencing this, my mask is back on and I'm like right in front of you. So like, you know, when reality comes back, it's just Tynant like looming in front of you. Maybe like I cut off I'm like in between you and the light.
I think there's an opportunity because you have your mask off. There is an opportunity here for Ferris to do a thing before that happens. If Ferris reacts, depending on what that reaction is. Because you can put your mask on quickly, but with your mask off, you're vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do, Ferris?
Irresolute.
Yeah.
Okay. At any time, I can spend my tools to be right there with the proper tools and knowledge of how to connect you to the maelstrom. Just need to decide in fiction what that's going to be.
Okay. I mean, you look around and there's a cable, like a bundle of cabling. Then at the end of the cable, there's some kind of like valve or attachment. And then there's a long syringe-like piece of metal sticking out of the end of it. You built it a long time ago, not knowing what it was for. But if you stab Tynant in the head with it, it would probably work.
It's what the maelstrom's told me to do. I've failed. I'm not doing it properly. I have no choice. I will.
All right. So
enacted as well.
so it's I mean if you grab it and try to stab Tynan with it, it's you going aggro. Because what you want is to like just interface, damn it. Obviously Tynan, you can you can interfere as you like. And then we'll see how that goes. Sound about right to everybody before we roll?
Yep.
Yeah, come at me.
Okay. Since I'm bone feeling this situation, I'm rolling a +1.
Okay.
So my -1 just becomes a flat roll. So let me just temporarily update my HUD to 0.
This is
Wonder if you can roll 2.
Totally failed. Totally failed.
this is the come
Totally
at
close.
Herb Lord, I'm ripped. Tynan.
It is. You are big and tough, and this is not going to work.
Another on a miss. Be prepared for the worst situation.
Yeah. Now your mask is off, which remind me again what that means.
I'm at hard 0 and inflicting -1 harm while my mask
Yeah,
is off.
what are the descriptors?
Ashamed and irresolute.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you do when Ferris grabs the what is your intent? What do you want to do when this happens? It doesn't necessarily happen, but I want to know what's in your head when you see Ferris lunge for this cable and thrust it at you.
What is Ferris doing? Or
What would you do if you were in total control of the situation? Like, do you like grab him? Do you push him on the ground? Like, what's your intent here?
Yeah, I would just like stop him and just like contain him because he's a small person. He's a tiny thing.
Okay. Yeah. So he doesn't
Don't let people have agency of their bodies if I don't want them to hurt me.
He doesn't. I think this is the thing. He doesn't get you in the head with it where he intended. But you go to stop him, and he jams it into your hand, and it like goes up into your arm, and like kind of stabs you in that way. Take 1 harm AP. It's not like a that physically harmful. And I'll have you roll
The harm move.
Yeah, roll the harm move for the needle.
So I roll 2d6 -1 in this case because I roll at -2 +1.
Mhm.
So I get a 6. There's no problem.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you get stabbed in the hand, just jams into your arm.
Juggernaut paying dividends already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you can do as you like.
And so my mask is just kind of like hanging off to the side, and I have like I can just like cinch it back in place. So I just like pull it back in place while like grabbing Ferris's hand that was holding the wire.
Mhm.
And then once my mask is back on, I just like lay into him with my bare hands,
Mhm.
and maybe like I think it's actually just like I grab his face and just like pull his arm away from his face.
Yeah,
and
I could
press
just try to
him
pull them
against the
apart.
walls and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the two of you. I mean, I assume you're fighting back, Ferris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
desperately.
So there's just the like do harm to each other moves.
It's single combat.
Yeah. So
It's my favorite kind of combat.
Hmm.
battle moves. Here they are. Okay. Single combat. No quarters. Exchange harm, but first roll plus hard. All right. So you have your gun, right, Ferris? 'Cause you mentioned carrying it around earlier.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So both of you roll plus hard. 10.
Am I still rolling a +1? No.
Yeah.
I can put that back down now.
All right. Okay. So on a 10 plus, both on a 7 to 9 choose one. On a miss, your opponent chooses one against you. So you both take the base harm first of all. So your spinny spring gun thing does how much harm?
3.
Okay. So you would take. We'll start at the base of 3 minus your armor, Tynant, which is 2.
2. My armor is 3 if I'm being scary and coming at him.
Okay.
Which, given that I didn't go for my weapon and that I'm just trying to tear him apart with my bare hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Ferris's call ultimately, but I'm with you on that one. But what do you think, Dave?
Am I being scary as fuck and coming at you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So and it's not that my armor stops it; it's that it hits me, and I'm just like, that's fine. I can bleed a bunch. That's
He just
okay.
blam, shoots you in the chest, and then 10 plus on, or no, 7 to 9. So you choose, Tynant, choose one for yourself and one for Ferris.
Okay, so I want to inflict terrible harm with my hands.
Okay.
Yeah, so I inflict terrible harm,
How much harm does Ferris take?
which I guess if fists are 1,
Yep.
then
You
Ferris
can
takes
inflict terrible harm twice if you want, because you're choosing one against. You basically get 2 choices from the list.
Oh, I see. Yeah, then I'll inflict terrible harm twice. So
Okay.
I'm doing 3 harm, I guess.
Okay. I have 1 armor, so I will take 2.
Okay. Can you make the harm move?
Mm-hmm.
And I roll it at -2
Yeah.
because I took 0 harm. So I get a 7-9.
Okay, you both do. So why don't you pick one for each other? I don't want to get involved. This fight is too dangerous for me.
I'm staying out of
I'm staying out of this. You just pick one for each other.
All right. So I think for Ferris, you lose your grip on what you're holding, which is your gun.
Yep, totally fine. I'm just sorry, looking where this is. I've not.
Sorry, it's along with Insight, Augury, the barter moves. It's right after all of the business.
7 to 9. He loses his footing. They lose their footing. They lose their grip on whatever they're holding. They lose track of someone or something they're attending to, or they miss noticing something important.
Okay.
Dave, you do still have booby traps in your place, just because you bought that. Remember, your thing can fight for you too.
I was thinking that you miss noticing something important, which is that you've activated my trap card.
Well, and I'm still plugged in. Like, there's still that thing in my hand too, right? So it could be that I get like.
Right. I have like electrical generators within my house that I can use to electrify things, and I could probably.
So maybe like Ferris, you get knocked against a control console and you're able to like lash out and flip a switch that turns the cabling from power or data to power.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And yeah, it's the same hand holding the gun. So right, so we can lump it all in, right? You have to drop the gun, hit the switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's work out that fiction, and then you can decide if you want to keep fighting. So yeah, I mean, I think Tynan, you get a bunch of voltage dumped into you. Does it make sense act under fire here? The fire being you get knocked out with you get like zap electricity.
Sure.
Does that sound good, Ferris?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
7-9.
Ferris, what do we think the hard choice is here? So on a 10 plus, Tynan would be able to just do as they please. On a miss, they would have been knocked out. A 7 to 9 is a success, but with a cost, or like opens an opportunity for you, or like maybe you can get away, something.
Yes, I say this doesn't have to keep hurting. Open your mind, learn.
Right. So it's like you can stay conscious, but you get a little bit of the maelstrom along with your electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
And am I looking at any harm as a result of this? Is this like 1 harm AP or something?
I mean, it's that's a question for Ferris. Is your defense system meant to incapacitate or kill?
Yeah, maybe it's S harm.
I think I've started to show I have lesson. Yeah, carry on.
I can, through the Hocus Sex move, I can just bump Tynant's 9 up to a 10.
You can.
You can't help.
Huh? So
Do you have to roll, or does it just give a +1?
You still have to roll.
I do?
Yeah. It lets you get around needing to actually be there.
Oh, you can spend your hold to help or interfere at a distance. Okay.
Would
So
you
I
like
can
to do
just,
that?
I can roll to help Tynant.
All right. I hope you fail. I hope so badly that you fail.
Adam, you're so mean. I hope you fail.
I really hope you fail.
Well, let's see.
It sounds like bias to me.
Okay. Of course.
No, the gods, they
All right.
favor.
Get
Okay.
shit on, at him.
All right, so Tynan, you get a 10.
An 11
and
actually, but whatever.
Brace is not exposed to any danger or harm. So yeah, so you have the thing. You can yank the thing out and throw it on the floor or whatever, but it doesn't knock you out.
Yeah, I think it's still in my hand, but I tear the cord out of the wall.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's just like I'm defending the source. So
Well, let's cut over to the other room real quick. So, he's picked up the medicine and has gone to hold it out. This is before this fight breaks out. He's gone to hold it out to you and is like, you have to take your medicine.
And I'm like,
sick.
no, I don't.
And I was gonna say, so you go for your a scalpel?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of my weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, so you go for a scalpel, and that's when you hear Ferris's head getting slammed against the console in the other room, and Nipperkin looks like what? Like something's happened.
I go at him with my scalpel.
Okay, what are you trying to do? What do you want?
He's scary and is trying to force me to do a lot of stuff that I don't understand, and I've been told that he's not trustworthy. So I want to get out, but Nipperkin doesn't want to let me leave.
Yeah.
So is there it's either is he distracted enough for me to just run out?
No, he's between you and the door.
So I need to get him incapacitated so that I can leave.
I mean, or just you could, if you want, you could try to jam your scalpel in his neck or whatever. He's just turning to look.
That's yes. So aggro?
You're suckering him, right? What you want is for him to go down. There is a chance you could miss because it's not like you're pointing a gun at the back of his head and he doesn't know you're there. So roll plus hard. Go aggro. And this is plus hard because you're not using.
Because I'm not using my brain. Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Okay.
Went surprisingly well.
So, treated as going aggro, but your victim has no choice but to cave and do what you want. But I got a 7 and 9. So what does that mean?
That's right. So he can get the hell out of the way, barricade himself securely in, give you something he thinks you want, or tell you what you want to hear, or back off calmly. Hands where you can see. So you yank the scalpel, you whip the scalpel out, and he turns and puts his hands up. He's still holding the pills, puts his hands up, and he says, he looks at it and he's like, "Huh, that's one of mine. Where did you get that?"
Did a lot of things while you weren't looking. Back when you were still a doctor, and you helped people, you didn't force them to do what you want.
He says, "If I was trying to force you, I would have fed these to you while you were asleep. I told Tynan," and they're still rattling in the other room. "I told Tynan that I wasn't going to hurt you. If you don't believe me, they did. Don't you trust Tynan? Please, I'm just trying to help."
And
he's standing out of the way. You could walk out of the room.
Well, she wants Tynan's input on this whole situation because Tynan protects her. So yeah, she would back up and be like, "I'm afraid you're gonna hurt me," sort of thing, or force feed me pills and go for the door to get to Tynan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He just lets you walk out, and he says to you as you go by, he's like, "It's only gonna get worse. If you don't take these pills, you're going to regret it."
I don't trust him. I don't believe him. Yeah. So I go out and at what point in this fight am I
Yeah, and so this is the point where you you've ripped the cable out of the wall, and I have to ask the question of the two of you: do either of you want the fight to continue?
I'm down to have a little talk now.
Yeah, that seems fine. I mean, I'm never going to win this fight. It just felt spurred on by the Maelstrom's influence. So,
okay, so if neither of you want the fight to continue, Let's see.
And I've like dislocated Ferris's arm or whatever, and like
Yeah, both of you prefer to end the fight.
smashed
It
him
ends
all
now.
up.
Okay. All right.
And I just like push you so that you're sitting on this like desk that we were fighting around, and like take a step back. I'm like breathing heavily, and yeah, I like pull this stabby cable thing out of my hand
Ugh.
and like throw it aside. What was that supposed to show me, Ferris?
Brace comes around the corner.
And I like pause for a second. I'm like, Tynant. And I like, am I like any better? You said I felt better, but am I actually like any better?
No, your harm is still the same.
Okay.
You didn't take your medicine.
It was weird.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So I say to Tynant, I'm just like, Tynant, I don't think this is the right course.
I'm beginning to have some doubts as well. Did Nipperkin help you?
I don't trust him.
He said that he would help you. And then I like look back at Ferris and hopefully some part of him is still human.
He wanted me to take medicine. I didn't want to take it. And she's very like childlike in this moment. Like she's just like, this, you know, like.
Yeah, so Ferris is like, and this is the problem that I'm telling you about. Efficiency. She could be better now. She just has to take the medicine. I trust Nipperkin.
Are you not? You're not
Trust
wearing your
Nipperkin.
mask.
No.
And I'm like, better like you, better. Words
That's
aren't. Words. You saying better and me saying better are not the same things. I think, Ferris.
Then perhaps if you decide not to take this, then I see two outcomes for you. This gets worse. You die from this. You survive. And you, along with the rest of your race, inevitably perish.
Death doesn't scare me, Ferris. Perhaps you should fear it more. You think you're untouchable, but I don't think you are.
No, there's something much more important for me to be doing. Perhaps I would rather not cease functioning yet. I would have thought you felt the same way, even if I believed yours to be misguided.
He's a robot.
So I guess my question here is, Tynan, do you embrace leave? Do you stay or do you go?
I mean, my question is does Tynant trust Nipperkin enough to be like, yeah, take the medicine,
Yeah.
do it? If you would have to probably manipulate Brace into like trusting Nipperkin because she believes like very strongly in the like don't trust this guy thing that the ghosts gave her. Like don't trust Nipperkin, don't trust Ferris. Like this is not.
So yeah, I think what this is going to look like is Tynant turns to Ferris and just says, Ferris, you and I can be working for different things and not be working at cross purposes. I'm willing to respect this decision that you're making and what you believe in. All I would ask is that you do the same for us, that we be allowed to pursue our course and you yours. Time will tell which was right, and me doing what I'm doing should not interfere with whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, Ferris shakes his head. He says, I believed from the start that there was something worth saving about you people. Otherwise, I could have built my own. I have the parts outside.
Make my own friends. Need you people.
And yeah, I like come over to you and like apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry if I hurt you.
Sorry if I dealt you 3 harm.
I'm sorry that I ripped your robot arm off.
It was all very alarming. I'm sure you understand. And I like kind of like put my hands on your shoulders. No need for
That
secrets.
was something.
Yes.
I interfaced with something. It wanted me to show you a truth that I cannot convey in words. Violence was not the answer.
Yes, look, just I know what it's like to be trapped between reality and something beyond, something bigger than you, something that wants to come through. I've been there. You are still in control, even though it may not feel that way. And I like give your shoulder a little squeeze, and I walk over to Brace, and I'm just like, Nipperkin doesn't want to hurt you.
Yeah, Nipperkin is like nearby, like in
Yeah,
the room. But
yeah, I'm sure you can hear. I'm just like, we've been through a lot, and I'm sorry, Nipperkin. Trust is not easy to come by these days.
And so like I look up at Tynan and he's like, it's okay, like Nipperkin's not gonna hurt you. And like in my head there's like on repeat, like, or maybe the ghosts are like saying it like around me, like don't trust him. Like
you can hear the sort of like echoes.
yeah. And so I just like I take I like put my hand out to Nipperkin, like shaking a little bit, and I'm just like, give them to me.
Yeah, he puts his hand out and drops the pills on the floor, and he looks you in the eye. And he's like, "No, get out!" And he steps on them, grinds them into the floor.
Nipperkin.
A little bit thin-skinned, don't you think, Nipperkin?
He shakes his head. I've changed my mind.
We should go, Tynan.
Wait, Brace. Tynan.
It's fine, Ferris. Let them go.
If we're going to work together, I need to prove I mean what I said, that we can come to an arrangement.
We have work to do, Ferris.
What is he to you, Ferris? He's
Sorry,
changed.
I didn't quite catch that.
I say, what is he to you? Like he's changed. He's not the same as he was before. Maybe now is a time for you to change allegiances.
And I've like walked over and picked up the shotgun to give back to Doom.
Doom is outside.
Yeah. But I just, I'd left it on the floor, so I go.
Sure, yeah, you go to pick it up in the living room. Yeah.
So I say, I need something from you. In return, I can help you. You're close to death. I can see that. I can read your vitals from here. I can help as well, just differently.
I am accustomed to being close to death in more ways than what you mean, I think. You want what from me?
Just give me your hand for a moment.
And I look at Tynan and I'm like,
Ferris, there's no need to play the games anymore. Just tell her what you need.
I need contact to her skin to inject her with healing nanites. It will speed up the body's recovery process. She'll get better.
Yes, no need for secrets between us. And I like kind of gesture at your like exposed face, just like, it's fine.
and you would heal me for what?
It depends how I roll.
No, I mean like for like she like, okay, she's not totally kosher with anything, but like healing someone would be like, and you do something in return for me healing you. Like,
Oh.
what are you asking her for?
I've not asked you yet, but I will ask you for some of the sauce.
No, I mean, that's what she asks. She's like, heal, like,
Oh, you're asking him.
yeah, in character, she's asking, what do you want? Like, what do you want for this? Like, what is this, like, negotiation or transaction here? No one gives you anything for free.
I look at Nipikin,
Mm-hmm.
and while looking at him, I say, I need slight access to the source.
He looks. His eyes flick to the pan of water that she barfed up earlier.
And then
He does it before you finish the sentence, so you don't actually get the whole sentence out.
Yep. So I continue it on, like taking that in, and the eye kind of like telescopes back a little, and I turn back and I say, but not now. We can work something out later. It's been a difficult day for you.
I think that Brace is not going to let robots inside of her body.
It's probably a good call.
So she turns back to Tynan and she says, we're leaving.
Well, all right.
Okay, so the two of you leave.
Okay.
All right. I mean, obviously, the thing is, you open the door and see Heron approaching. You see Heron coming up.
Yeah, and I just like give Doom her shotgun. I'm like, I'm sorry I hit you earlier.
Yeah, Doom doesn't care. Doom gets hit all the time.
Nothing personal, you understand.
Yeah, she takes it from you and nods, and I think that's when the camera kind of like we get the four-shot blurs, and we get the background as Heron is walking up the street towards the hut. So let's close it up there. I wanted to get you in, Heron, for that last scene, but I also didn't want to rush through it. So we'll start with everybody at the beginning of the next one.
Like, it was important stuff between players, so I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So we'll start the next episode with the four of you at least on the porch for a moment before you and Ferris have your conversation about what's to happen next. And it's actually really cool that you'll be there for the conversation that Nipperkin and Ferris are going to have about now you have the material that you needed. Let's do hex adjustment and then we'll say goodbye for the day.
Oh, important thing for me and Dave.
You
Hex
harmed
goes
each
up
other.
by 1 per harm that we dealt to each other. So I have +1 with Ferris. Just
I have plus. Do I have none because it was adjusted down to nothing?
Yeah.
Oh, I did an AP to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took 1. So I have 1, and you took like 3, or was it 2?
I took 2 adjusted.
Yeah. So you would.
So does that go up on mine or yours?
It goes up on yours. Me hurting you
Okay.
teaches you something about me.
Okay. Awesome. That was the last bit of experience I needed to get my first 6+ advance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Cool. I'm just making a quick note here.
I thought I was going to end up with a suite of +3s on everybody again.
Chris, you go up 1 with Tynant as well.
Yep.
Just because like our conversation and everything.
Yeah. We started at +2. It went up, and we're still at +2 on my sheet.
It's good. Full circle.
I don't think anybody knows me better.
All right. So who knows you less well than they thought?
I don't think Tynan and Brace know me at all. So
I mean, at the beginning of the session, we said that we had met in passing before.
yeah, I mean we've probably like said a couple of words to each other before in like scenes that were not explored while I was playing dice.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you want to give the most?
We'll give it to Tynan.
Cool. I'll just have to let you hurt me.
That won't be hard.
Should be easy. Yeah.
Okay. I guess. I mean, yeah. I'm probably gonna. I feel like either Ferris or Tynant knows me differently or better.
I feel like it's got to be Ferris
Yeah.
because there's all this like, oh, you have the source in you now.
Yeah.
That got revealed to him. So.
Cool. And I think for my part, it's definitely Tynant. Tynant knows Ferris better.
Yay.
I don't know anyone any differently.
You're just hurt and upset.
I'm very hurt and upset.
Oh, doctor, I'm hurt. Help me. No, I don't want to take my medicine. Petulant baby.
Well, I mean, he was a doctor and now he's falling apart.
He's still
I really enjoyed the psychic, like the psychic projection, like Nipperkin stuff, like the Brace and Nipperkin meeting in psychic or like astral projection space.
Yeah, that was cool. And then the difference between like seeing him all clean and like how he like thinks he is to like, oh shit, you're like.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you call him a doctor. It's like, there's no way he has a medical license.
Hey, got one from Bill.
You're apocalypse.
He got one from Bill. It's fine. Bill said it's okay for you to medicine people. He paid for it. It's fine. Awesome. Yeah, I think Elf, we should do a spin-off show that's just Huron and Trench talking about creepy things together for an hour.
I mean, that's basically what they do, right?
Let's talk about the flesh.
I mean, I always wonder if like they're having sex, and then I realize that Heron doesn't do that.
Yeah,
it's like so much above
it's
that.
like it's like so more than that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's great.
Y'all just need to play Blades and then go into the whole like Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh thing, and then do the same character.
Alex, I would watch that. Says
The
Alex.
Heron and Trench hour.
Oh,
You know what I
would
don't
not
need?
watch that.
A nose. Boy,
Yeah,
that
I
thing
kind of
was
feel
the
like
worst.
that's a bit much for me.
I really enjoy that kind of stuff, but that's because I can dig into creepy parts of my brain.
Mhm.
And, like, yeah.
No shortage of those.
It's true.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Heron and Trench review the latest Fast and Furious movie.
Movie hour with Heron and Trench. It made my exposed nerves tingle with delight.
God damn, please no.
All right.
Love it.
Elf, my creepy friend, would you like to begin our
course.
bon voyage for today?
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Distracted Elf. And today I would like to carve into your flesh the link to my stream. www.twitch.tv/DistractedElf. You may also find my magnificent works of art on Twitter @DistractedElf.
I gotta save you for last next time. There's no way to follow that. There's no way at
I'll
all.
go next. It's fine.
All
It
right.
doesn't bother me. I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter @ComedianCrow. You can find me on twitch.tv/actualfactual, where I am developing a magical girl anime role-playing game and occasionally playing video games and stuff like that. So you can check that out on my channel. You can support me on Patreon, and you can watch me play Apocalypse World here. You can watch me play Apocalypse World on Misclicks. Our first episode was yesterday. You can watch me play Blades in the Dark on Distracted Elf's channel on Monday nights, which is a good time as well. And we do D&D on Thursdays.
You proliferant.
So
as
many
fuck.
games.
Proliferant as fuck. I love it.
16 hours a week.
That's
plus
a lot.
my stream on top of that. A lot.
That's working.
RPGs.
Oh yeah, and working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Go
Keep
me.
him busy.
Yeah.
Dave, excellent performance as Ferris today. Where can people find you at?
Oh, thank you. They can find me. I love how it gets like more and more ironic to be at Dave_the_human on Twitter every week that we play this.
Piling it up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going super well. And also on Twitch at Aurath, AUWRATH. There's a. I heard a thing about Twitch usernames perhaps getting freed up, so maybe we'll try and consolidate down the brand a little bit at some point. I mean, I've only just started streaming anyway,
Yeah,
so maybe that's on the cards if they end up going through with that. But anyway, that's
there was a thing today about like old accounts being
Yeah.
like reclaimed. So
yes, that's one.
Cool.
So maybe, but yeah, those are the things that I do.
Excellent. Thank you. Blue Jay.
I'm Blue Jay. You can find me at twitch.tv/bluejay or here on Thursday and Friday or Misclicks on Wednesday nights. Not quite as prolific as Andrew, but getting there. One more game than I would be. So you know where to find me.
You're
No, I
also
don't
a
have-
full-time streamer on
Yeah,
your channel.
yeah, I stream on my channel. And you can also find me on Twitter, bluejay_712, and that's it. Yeah.
Wicked.
From what I understand, they're not doing name changes of the account you have, but they might be like releasing accounts, so you would have to make a new one. They only do changes of the account you have for
You
partners.
can always, you can always grab the new account and then just put up an offline screen that's like, this is not the account, it's this.
yeah.
That's easy enough to do.
Just gotta decide whether that's worth doing or how they implement it or whatever. We'll see.
Word. Cool. We'll keep an eye on everybody's stuff in case suddenly we all undergo name changes. I definitely
already
won't.
did that.
I
Me
definitely
neither.
won't because my Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Adam Coble, which is my name. So I'm gonna keep that
There
one.
you go.
But on
Are you
Twitter,
sure?
you can find me at Skinny Ghost, and you can find me right here every Thursday and Friday GMing with these lovely people. If you want to check out our D&D game, that's on Thursdays, and we'll be back next week with more Apocalypse World. I think we're good for the rest of the month up till the end where PAX happens. So
Packs out.
Yeah.
keep on tuning in. Otherwise, you can find everything we have ever done on this channel on YouTube. This episode will go live on Sunday. Prep for this episode if you want to see any of the behind the scenes stuff will be live Saturday if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, that's it for us for this week. We'll see you next time for more Apocalypse. Bye everybody. Thanks for coming.